What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now today I have a POV playtest on the Sokito Scudetta in this very cool colorway. This is the Unisport collab and it is fantastic. You guys can see right there it says Unisport and it's a really nice colorway. I do have an unboxing if you guys want to check out the details. But yeah, I'm going to do a POV playtest, and so I'll just talk more about the boot and my opinions on them. Before we start the video, if you guys could like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate that, and we'll get right into it. Alright guys, so here we have the cleats on feet. And yeah, this is a very cool colorway in my opinion. And also I didn't want to mention that these are brand new. I have not used them, so I'll be able to tell you guys how they fit and feel straight out of the box, and like how the break-in process is on the first time wearing them. Little details there, you guys can see the Unisport logo, and these are numbered. You can see right there 164 out of 350, which is pretty cool. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this colorway. I think they're fantastic. And the boot overall does have a tighter, slimmer fit to it. Like, it's very, like, it just hugs your foot very closely. You guys can see I have a little bit of flaring. I do have a wider foot, but even with my wider foot, I am able to fit in these, just because this upper right here, the BioTouch upper, does stretch over time and it kind of molds to the shape of your foot. Like right now they're very, very tight, but over time I did find that they kind of stretch a little bit and just don't feel as tight, but they still feel pretty slim fitting. So if you do have a wider foot, I would suggest trying them out, just because you do have a U-throw construction, so you're able to adjust the midfoot. They are like very, very slim down. Like you guys, let me put it there. Maybe you guys can see that, but they're very low volume. So I went up half a size, and my toes like right here. I don't have no space whatsoever. Yeah, if I went true to size, they would be just too tight for my liking. So if you guys like a super tight fit, go true to size. If you guys want some wiggle space, some breathing room, go half size up. So when I do have a brand new pair of boots, I like to juggle first, just to get a feel for it, and also start to soften up that upper before I do anything crazy. So with the BioTouch upper, it is thin, but it does have like a little bit of a padded liner on the inside. So it's still on the thin side, but you get this nice little bit of a padded feel to it. The upper is, again, super soft. It is very like leather-like. It's one of the softest uppers on the market in my opinion in terms of synthetics. They feel great. This version, I am noticing that this, like, the graphic does have a little bit more of grip to it now that I'm touching it, just because the first one, like the standard colorways, they do have some sort of grip, like texture on top, but honestly this doesn't really do anything. I didn't notice it at all. With these, when I'm juggling right here, I can feel it sticking to the ball. Maybe because they're brand new, maybe that will go away once I start playing with them, but I am feeling a little bit of that grip on the upper, which is kind of strange, but so far they feel good. I will say in the first colorway I did have a little bit of heel rubbing on my left foot. I'm not sure why. It did go away after like 2 sessions. This time I'm not feeling it so much, which is a good thing. I did tie in like the bottom lace hole here, so it's pulling a little bit more, so less movement up and down from my heel. Maybe that was the issue in the first one, because usually I don't tie my cleats all that tight in the beginning. I tie them after I wear them a little bit more, just, I don't know, just for comfort I guess. But this time I tied the heel, or like the upper part of the boot, so there just no movement there whatsoever. So passing, like I said, it is on the thin side. The upper does transition into like this thin synthetic, and so when you're passing you kind of hit that mark right here, and so it kind of feels slightly thinner there, but still it still feels pretty uniform, nothing too crazy. All right, so already just juggling and passing for a bit, the upper does feel like slightly better. They don't feel super tight as they were in the beginning. They're starting to like expand a little, form to the shape of my foot, which is nice. So it does need some break-in time, but it's not like a crazy amount. I guess it depends on how wide your foot is or the shape of your foot. All right, so now we're gonna do a little bit of ladder drills. And yeah, you can really feel that sole plate there when you're on your toes. The sole plate in the forefoot, it is pretty stiff. You know, I'm starting to like stiffer sole plates now, especially with the Mizuno Alpha. I really like that sole plate, and the A6 DSi X5 Pro 3. That also has a little bit of snapback to it, so I'm liking those sole plates a lot. And these, they feel similar to that, maybe not as snappy, but they still feel pretty good. Alright guys, so now we're just gonna do some shuffles into some sprints. You guys can see right there, and this will give me a better idea of the lateral stability as well as the heel lockdown when I'm pushing off. This is a drill that I always do on my play test, just to like get a feel for the boot when doing those types of movements. And the heel on these is actually like, the padding is really good. Like, it's really padded in the heel, so it's really comfortable. Like I said, I did get a little bit of chafing, but honestly that went away on the second session. But the padding is really nice. It is like a different like sticky material that really grips your sock, and so for me there's no movement in the heel whatsoever, like side to side or up and down. And also the lateral stability is pretty good in this boot. Like, that different material does a really good job of just not allowing any rollover. Like, it really holds that section of your midfoot pretty well. The BioTouch upper, that part, I feel like there's a little bit of movement just because it is a softer upper and there's really no reinforcement, and the upper does kind of stretch a little, but it's not too bad. The midfoot is still really responsive, so it gets the job done there. Alright, and so the stud pattern is more blades. They aren't like super like angles, so they're not like chevron, they're more towards like just normal blades, I guess. Yeah, they're pretty aggressive, and for me, like, I'm fine here on my AG pitch. Like, I know I can handle it, but if you have like a really shallow AG pitch, then I probably wouldn't recommend these. I think they are working on an AG sole plate, so I would just wait for those. I'm not exactly sure when they're coming out. They did hints on them on Instagram, so maybe later this year, I'm not exactly sure, but that sole plate looks good. I might get that. But these, you know, they are on the aggressive side, so just be careful. I would just recommend them for FG. Like, for me, like I said, I'm used to wearing cleats on AG. They're fine for me, but I guess just be careful. I haven't had any discomfort in these. Like, in the midfoot, they feel fine. I don't need to take them off, especially because that upper does go a little bit more into the midfoot right here, and so I get a good amount of stretch there where my foot is the widest, which is nice. So that's why I say, if you do have a wider foot, you should try them out, just because like that upper does a really good job of just stretching and like forming to the shape of your foot. All right, so now we're gonna do some cone drills. I did put up a weave pattern right there, just to talk about the touch and how it feels when you're dribbling. And like I said, I do feel just a little bit more grip when I was juggling with the upper, maybe because of the graphic, but we'll see right now. Again, I am not the best dribbler, so ooh, see right there, like I tried like sliding it and it got stuck. See how it doesn't like it doesn't like, see, it's supposed to like kind of roll, but it does get stuck to the upper, like right there. I'm trying to push it forward, so there is more grip on this boot, which I actually like, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, 100% more grip. It could also be the ball. This ball is slightly new, so it might still be grippy. This is actually the only ball I have. I only brought one, but see, even there, like I got kind of stuck to it. Alright, so we have a slightly different weave pattern, just to change it up. Alright guys, so that's it for today's POV playtest on the Sokito Scudetta. You guys can see the upper is just crazy soft, like it's nice and pliable. It just got even softer. It feels really nice. Like I said, this like graphic has a little bit, I don't know if it has more, or maybe just because it's new or the ball is new. It just feels more grippy, I guess. But actually, now that I'm looking at it, I thought the graphic had the grip, but no, it's the same. It's the same graphic as the white one. This one just feels a lot more grippy for some reason, and I don't know why. It could be the ball, but I just felt like I was getting stuck with, as you guys saw in the video, I was kind of dragging it and I kind of tripped over it. So yeah, I don't know. The white one just didn't seem as grippy to me. I didn't really notice it, but this one I did. But yeah, the Sokito overall is a good boot. It's not my favorite boot on the market. I do have others that I prefer wearing. It just doesn't fit me well in the midfoot. It doesn't really match my foot shape. I do have a wider foot, and it just, you get a lot of these bumps on the side, which doesn't affect performance. I feel like it just doesn't like wrap my foot as like smooth as I want it to be. Other boots kind of wrap my foot a little bit better in the midfoot, and these don't really wrap my foot that well, which kind of sucks. But it's still a fantastic boot. It performs well. It's a comfortable boot. I actually didn't get any like heel rubbing this time around in my left foot, which is nice. I guess it was that I didn't tighten them all the way. As you guys can see, I am using the second lace hole. You guys can do the runner's on if you want. I don't think it's necessary because the heel lockdown is amazing, nice and padded there. It's kind of hard to see because it's black on black, but yeah, sole plate is pretty good. It's pretty stiff, responsive. Stud pattern is kind of these crazy blades, as you guys can see, so stick to FG. I use them on AG just because I feel comfortable wearing stuff like this on AG, but obviously that's just me. It does have a super low toe box, which is why I went half a size up, just so it's more comfortable. So I would recommend going half a size up if you want more of a comfortable, like more like wiggle space. If you want a super tight fit, then go true to size. If you guys have any questions, something I didn't answer in the video, just let me know down in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.